How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
We'd like to welcome tonight's guests, the Canterbury Cavaliers, and we wish them luck in tonight's game. And we also hope that you will join us in our effort to promote good sportsmanship by remembering that high school co-curricular and extracurricular activities are learning and educational experiences for our students. We strongly encourage you to show your respect for the student athletes, the coaches, officials, spectators, and support groups that are present at this event by recognizing performance in a positive manner. These student athletes have devoted much of themselves in preparation for this contest. We thank you. And now it's time for the starting lineup for tonight's game. For the visiting Canterbury Cavaliers. In goal, 00, Clayton Perry. Number 4, Max Mull. Number 8, Logan Lee. Number 10, Akil Watts. Number 11, Jamison Klein. Number 13, Jonathan Vandenacker. Number 17, Brandon Renninger. Number 20, Alec Getz. Number 22, Cruz Garcia. Number 23, Jack Haynes. Number 24, Graham Kaufman. Head coach is Greg Mouch. Starting lineup for Homestead High School. In goal, Riley Kroll. Number 3, Jonathan Haller. Number 5, Mason Cole. Number 6, Adam Switkowski. Number 7, Austin Johnston. Number 8, John Steiner. Number 10, Mark Sloven. Number 12, Daniel Matzuk. Number 15, Alex Shepard. Number 17, Chris Gogos. Number 18, Samuel Muesli. Head coach is Mike Hauser. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Homestead High School on the southwest side of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I am Tim Atkinson, Jeff Mahoney on the camera. This is SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Thank you for joining us. We do have a doozy here in front of us. Beautiful night, Tuesday night, as I mentioned, in Fort Wayne. Beautiful field here with a nice crown to the pitch. Football stadium in the background. Student section down to the left near side, getting into it already. Great crowd here for a boys varsity match here on a Tuesday in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Canterbury comes in 3-0-1, and Homestead 0-1-1. So Homestead looks to get in the win column here against a tough Canterbury squad, as Canterbury looks to keep the momentum rolling, as we'll talk about some of their previous games here throughout the broadcast. We started off with Canterbury ball. Vandenacker on the far side. I believe that's Kaufman. Looks for the cross, can't get it, and cleared out by Homestead. We do have two 40-minute halves here in boys varsity soccer. There's the turnover, and right back to Vandenacker and the Cavs. Kaufman, one-on-one, takes it down near the corner. Nice move. Dispossessed. Back out to Cruz. Cruz Garcia. He'll be all over the pitch for Coach Mock and the Cavs. Watch for the two backs, wings, to push up in the offensive end for Canterbury to play off the talented midfielders that they have, and Logan Lee and Akil Watts. Cruz Garcia, that's number 4. Max Moyle, very strong defensive back four. I know Coach Mock was not happy with him against a game Carroll Charger squad that came into Canterbury High School and came back, putting a goal on with 18 seconds left on the match to even it up at 5s to force that into a tie. So remaining starting back 4 for Canterbury and Coach Mock back there. And the Cavs. Here's Homestead putting on pressure. Nice pop-up ball in the box. Cruz Garcia to track it down. Tries to clear it. Here on the left side. Jamison Klein. It's Daniel Matsuik. Long throw in. Moyle ahead, and that's going to be a foul in the box on number 6, Adam Swiatkowski. So up front for the Spartans, playing pretty much a 1-4-4 is Coach Hauser, Coach Mike Hauser. As I mentioned, 0-1-1 on the early season. Canterbury Cavaliers 3-0-1, that one tie to the Carroll Chargers, as I mentioned, at Canterbury High School last week. Header, a little push off, good call. That push was on Jack Haynes. Another talented defender for Canterbury. Free kick for Homestead. That's number 5, Adam Swiatkowski. Mason Cole. Pops it in, that's just too deep. We'll go over the end line for a goal kick. That's the freshman there in the box for Canterbury. Freshman Clayton Perry. Been outstanding on this young season. Started every match here for Coach Mock. And as I mentioned, 3-0-1. Led in 5 goals here in this early season with 9 saves. That's the freshman Clayton Perry for Canterbury. It's going to be ever important as Haynes, nice play to try to get the Wasp, but dispossessed by Homestead. And here they come, the Spartans. Nice through ball. 2 players got a step, do Homestead. That's Swiatkowski, and they're going to call him offsides. Tough call on Homestead. 36 minutes to play here in the first half. 0-0 your score. Homestead with the majority, a little bit of pressure here in the offensive end. here to start early in this match. Good look. No one there. Watts was just too late on that Logan Lee pass. Throw in to Canterbury. Out to Lee. Pop back out to Vandenacker. Gets. Haynes. Moyle, can he track it down and keep it in? He cannot. Throw in to the Spartans. That's number 12, Daniel Matsuik, with the long throw in. He's got a cannon. Nice head out by Max Moyle. Out to Jamison Klein, and cleared out by Haynes. Throwing again for the Spartans. Looks to go down the sideline to Jonathan Holler. Cruz Garcia trying to shield, and does let it roll out for the goal kick. 34:45 to play in the first half. We are at Homestead High School. Homestead is hosting Canterbury Cavaliers. The Cavaliers come in nationally ranked at 24th in the country and 8th in the state of Indiana, according to Max Preps. Goal kick for Clayton Perry. Out to Haynes. Can't get a header on it. Falls down to Getz. Chests it. Pops it out over the midfield line. Klein. And Haynes tried to find Lee there on the near sideline. Couldn't find him, and that's a good look to Kaufman. Kaufman, first touch, pops it up. Akil Watts tries to track it down. Can Kaufman take a shot? Clicks it to the right foot and just over the crossbar. Good looking skill on display. Best opportunity in this early match. Ball came down to Kaufman's feet on a nice pass from Lee. Ball came right down to his foot, cut it back to the right foot, went up and over the crossbar for a goal kick. That's the keeper, Riley Cruel, the senior. Boots it out over midfield. Cruz Garcia puts it back into play. Logan Lee trying to track it down, and there is the keeper, Riley Cruel. These schools both Class 2A in the state of Indiana. Homestead obviously not by choice with their enrollment, but Canterbury could have went back to 1A this year after doing the 2-year mandatory stint in the 2A after winning back-to-back championships in Class 1A. But Coach Mock and the alumni and chancellor and everyone involved with the program decided best opportunity for their kids is to stay in the 2A and battle the likes of Carroll, Homestead, and what have you. Now we're going to have another goal kick here for Riley Cruel. 0-0 your score, 32.5 to play in the first half. Headed up by Haynes. Gets off his head. Kaufman tried to knee it up. That was a dangerous play as number 15 in white, Alex Shepard, the senior, went for the header. And Kaufman with the high knee. That's going to cause a foul and a free kick for the Spartans. Ball comes in near the box on the far side. Nice attempt at the header in by number 6, Wiatowski, and that did ricochet off a Canterbury player for the first corner of the match. And it will go to Homestead.
Corner kick for Homestead.
Looks like we got the Canterbury student section to our right, Homestead student section to our left. Great fans. The game of soccer. That was cleared by Cruz Garcia. Good attempt on goal. That was nearly a goal for the Spartans. Jamison Klein, strong on the dribble as he was being chased down. And there's a turnover as Haynes just got a toe on it to get it to Moyle. Dispossessed, and here comes Homestead. It's got a wide open player, and that's offsides once again. Another offside. So that's 2 offsides in here in the early match for Homestead as they're trying to break their players out up front, and Adam Swiatowski, as the referee has the talk in here to a couple players. Swiatkowski and Max Moyle, two fiery guys for Coach Hauser and Coach Mock. Vandenacker rolls out to touch. Canterbury keeps possession. Getz has Haynes here in the middle of the pitch, chooses to try to force it to Keel Watts, but now we'll try to switch the field as Cruz Garcia will get to many of those 50-50 balls. That's something I can guarantee, as Jamison Klein nutmegged his defender, and that fall in the box. Logan Lee went to shot as that comes down to Keel Watts. Watts turns, tried to get with the left foot and couldn't get over on top of the ball to get a decent shot out, as that's cleared out by Homestead. Moyle trying to keep the pressure on. That's good heady defensive play by the veteran senior. Coach Mock will like that, not pressing the action. Keel Watts. Kaufman looks for the cross, has Lee, couldn't get it to him. Headed out by Johnston, the junior. Cruz Garcia will hustle over for the throw-in. Has Haynes. Haynes looked for Lee, couldn't get to it. Johnston, the junior, picks it up, leaves it for Gogos. Gogos, sliding tackle on the play by Getz. Beautiful slide tackle by the midfielder. Getz. Here's Haynes. Haynes, switch of field. Cruz Garcia. Not sure, I think he was looking for a Keel Watts there. It's just too heavy on it. Comes Masuik. And that was taken away by two Cavaliers, ended up with Kaufman. Good takeaway. Getz tries Lee, can't get it to him, cleared out by Matsuik. And we have a foul called. Excuse me, that's offsides. So third offsides on Homestead. That one not as dangerous of a play, but nonetheless, the front line for Homestead keeping the back four honest for the Cavaliers. 0-0 your score. The 28-minute mark. Cruz Garcia heads it down to keep it in play. Ricochets, picked up and possessed, then turned over. Headed up by number 5, Mason Cole, the junior. And that was settled by Watts. Back to Cruz Garcia. Getz. Watts. Nice hesitation dribble. Goes by his defender. 50-50 ball. Not go out to touch to the Cavs. Kaufman look for the quick throw in. No one moving here on offense for him. Good throw in off the shoulder of Klein. Klein settles it at the feet, takes it near the far corner flag. Nice look there to Kaufman. Kaufman tried to nutmeg his defender, get through, couldn't, and cleared out by the Spartans. Looked for the through ball, did number 18, Muslik. Always looking to break out Swiatkowski. 27-15 to play in the first half. 0-0 your score.
Substitution entering the game for Homestead, number 22, Connor Williams.
Connor Williams, number 22 in the ball game for Homestead. Throw in, headed up. Battle for the 50-50, and that's going to go off a Spartan. Out to touch to the Cavs. Kaufman tries to settle it at his feet, being shielded, being pressured and shielding the ball. Throw in. Long throw in, looking to break out Logan Lee, cannot. Picked up nicely by the defense of Homestead. Another through ball, just not patient enough in the back line for Homestead as Logan Lee tries to track it down, cannot, and there's another example of the through ball. They work so hard on the defensive end to cause the turnover, then give it right back to Canterbury. Those are not forced turnovers. Steiner. Now that's a good ball there to Holler. Holler is going to look for the cross. Good play back there to Steiner. Steiner, right-footed cross in. Dangerous play. Vandenacker headed out of the box as that comes out to Kaufman, being pressured as he knocks it off Alex Shepard. Cruz Garcia to throw in. Excuse me, that's Vandenacker. Gets Watts, good dummy, but was too close to the sidelines. Looks like they got a penalty. Yep, we got a foul there on Homestead. Gets, looked for Lee, couldn't get it to him, pop back at his feet, but settled down to Slovin. Mark Slovin, the junior. Back on the ball is Austin Johnston. Johnston just getting rid of the ball a bit too quick on the offensive end here for Homestead. That's got to be a foul. No call. Referee must not have saw it, but Akil Watts was yanked back. Jamison Klein, one-on-one. He's tough down here. Good dribble. And takes it out there to the near line. Crosses in. Akil Watts. Save by Riley Cruel. All about positioning there on that defensive positioning for the senior keeper, as that was a nice play by Klein, one-on-one, taking the defender to the end line, right-footed cross, feathered it in the box where alone Akil Watts was standing, headed it, but off the bounce. Riley Cruel, the senior, comes up with a big stop. Zero-zero, nil-nil your score. We do have 24 minutes to play in the first half. We play two 40-minute halves. We'll have usually about a 12-minute halftime, 12 to 10-minute halftime, where we'll take a break and join you back for the second half and hopefully get you some interviews after the matchup. Good battle here on the near sideline by Cruz Garcia and Holler. That's going to go out to touch. That will stay with Canterbury. Moyle comes over to take the throw in. As I mentioned, the back four for Coach Mock and the Cavs are all seniors, as they have a nice group of sophomores and some freshmen, as that's a dangerous play by number 3, Jonathan Holler, the senior, as he undercut Logan Lee, number 8. That will cause a free kick. Jamison Klein will take it. 5 in the box on play for the Cavs. Low ball, not high enough, as that comes back out to Vandenacker. Vandenacker has Kaufman, goes to him, lets it roll to the end line. Can he track it down? He does. Can he cross it in? Can it get through? It doesn't. Cleared out nicely by number 12, Matsuit. Pressure continually to be pressed on the Spartan defense by this Cavalier squad. Their game, you can see they're about just seconds away here from notching one on the board. Corner for Akil Watts, 22-22 to play in the first half. High cross, looking for the header, and that's headed out for another corner. They'll come to this side, as will Getz. Getz will be our corner kick on the near sideline. Different lineup in the box. 6 in play for the Cavs and Coach Mock. That's Logan Lee at the edge of the box with Watts. Header comes in. There's a Cavalier. And that was Jamison Klein. Just couldn't time it right. Went harmlessly on the left side of the post, out for a goal kick.
For Homestead, number 19, Alec Hauser.
Alec Hauser, sophomore in the game for Homestead. As we still have the starting 11 in the match for Canterbury. Just have played about halfway through this first half. Foul called. Swiatkowski, Adam Swiatkowski, the senior. Quick restart by the Cavs. Try to filter back to Moyle, just behind him. Spartans regain their form. Good foot touch there, and they got numbers. If Runninger can't get it, that's Homestead on a break, right-footed and over the crossbar. Number 17, Chris Gogos, the junior, just couldn't put it on net. Went harmlessly over the crossbar for a goal kick. But good pressure. Showed the speed, did Go-Go's. Got to the ball first against Renninger.
Logan Schreiber, number 12.
But just couldn't put it on goal to test the freshman goalkeeper. Goal kick for Canterbury. Clayton Perry. Short kick. Moyle. That was headed. Jake Mua. And cleared out by Renninger. 4 players out deep for Canada. That's Logan Lee. He's going to track it down. Watch him let it settle. Back heel flick to Keel Watts. Headed and tried cleared out by Mason Cole. Keel Watts looked for the cross. Couldn't find it. Schreiber in the game for Canterbury. As that's Swinty. Sweeping it back to Moyle. Cruz Garcia. Tried to flick it at the top of the box. Almost tracked down by the freshman Braden West. And just not possessed long enough, as that's going to be a foul called. And the referee just kind of shrugs his hand saying, what's the point of that? There's no reason the ball was going out of play. No reason to even give a slight nudge. Was Jake Mua probably frustrated as Max Moyle will need to keep his cool. Here's Renninger. Vandenacker. Swinty will play that central defensive role, midfield role for Coach Mock, and he'll play it well and push up. Nice through ball to West. West with the left foot, just heavy. Too heavy of a touch. Couldn't control it. One less dribble. If he would have just volleyed it on the pass, would have had a better opportunity. But either way, the keeper was there. Swinty at the midfield being pressured. West filters back to Moyle. Moyle to Lee. Lee has West, cuts it to his left foot. Left-footed pass to Watts, and that's going to roll harmlessly to the keeper and Cruel. 18 to play in the first half. Headed out by Max Moyle. Have a handball called against Homestead. Quick free kick by Braden West. Jamison Klein has Lee with him. Klein, very crafty with that hesitation dribble towards the sideline and the end line. That went off of a Homestead player for a corner. So another corner. 17:30 to play in the half. 0-0 your score. This time Akil Walks will go down with the right foot. Trying for the in-swinger, outswinger. That came in and footed down by Schreiber. Logan Lee on the volley, and that's about 10 feet over the post, over the crossbar, but that was a good attempt by number 7, Logan Schreiber. But Riley Cruel up for the task once again, unofficially his 5th save. Goal kick for them. Homestead and Canterbury locked up at zeros. West created the space. He couldn't head it down. Nice through ball. Good look to number 19 Hauser. Being played by Cruz Garcia. And dispossessed by Garcia and then pushed down as the referee tells him to get up, calling a flop. Settles back up, and that could be on goal. It is number 8. John Steiner with the goal. 16:20 to play in the half. The no call, fall down by Cruz Garcia. The ball cleared back and put in the back of the net by John Steiner.
For Homestead, from number 8,
about a 25-yard shot.
Steiner.
Just ripped it in the top left corner past the freshman goalkeeper Clayton Perry for the goal. 1-0. Homestead on top.
Game for Homestead, number 6, Adam Switkowski.
Canterbury with possession. Goes far side to Vandenacker. Coach Mott can't be happy with that lack of pressure, as they had all day, Steiner did, to release that boot from 10 yards outside the box. Klein looks to go into Scheiber. Scheiber tried to shield it, knee down by Logan Lee. Cleared out by Canterbury, by Homestead and Shepard. So all the through balls that they've tried here tonight, not one of them coming up with a goal. But the one time they do possess it in the offensive end, they come up with the crucial first goal. 1-0, Homestead on top, 15.5. Throw in for the Spartans as we have subs in.
Substitution for Homestead, number 9, Esteban Diaz.
Headed. And that's going to be a foul against Canterbury. This is going to be a dangerous free kick in a dangerous spot. As the last thing Coach Mott wants is a 2-goal deficit here in the first half. So that will be number 12, Daniel Matsuik, the senior. Also with Austin Johnston, the junior, as Johnston now jogs away from the ball as the referee's busy giving a talking to. There's a free kick, left foot, comes in, and that's another goal. Not sure if that was tipped or not, but we're gonna say and that is tipped. They're calling that a no goal. Went off a offensive player in an offside position, so no goal on the offside call. That's a huge offside call. And Woolley will have a free kick for Canterbury instead of a 2-0 deficit. It's 1-0, and I'm sure that's what the referee's explaining. Crowd went nuts for Homestead until they realized that did go off a offside player. Swinty just not tall enough to battle right there on that header. Came back out to Clayton Perry. 13:30 to play in the half. Clayton Perry out midfield, off West head. Came down, Matsuik. Headed out by Sloven. Klein. Garcia. Kicked out by Alec Hauser. Throw in for Canterbury. Look for Lee, instead goes down to Watts near sideline as he was held. Right in front of the referee was Steiner, but no call as Watts went to the pitch. Perry was far side to Renninger. Renninger being pressured. Vandenacker. Swinty couldn't get to that pass by Vandenacker, and that does settle to Johnstown, but dispossessed by Canterbury and West. West has some numbers. Watts, too heavy on a first touch and cleared out by number 8, John Steiner. Clayton Perry surveying. Out to midfield. Nice header. Settles down. Scheiber. Left it to Vandenacker. Watts. Through ball looking for Logan Lee. Can't reach him. Headed out. Moyle. Such force on Moyle's headers. Comes down to Watts. Watts. He will battle the sophomore. Very skilled and smooth on the pitch. Look at that look and pass. Logan Lee looked to just too fancy with it. Sometimes just need to make the simple play as Swinty regains possession. Watts goes with the right foot and shot, and just over the crossbar. That's tipped and will be a goal, will be a corner kick for the Cavs.
The game for Canterbury, number 5, Max Moyle. And number 14,
11.5 to
Ian
play.
Corbett.
Corner kick
And
for Canterbury as
Homestead,
Watts
number 20
comes down
the game,
to take the
Josh Holbrook.
corner. 3 at the top of the box, 3 down low. That's Swinty. Right by Cruel. Comes out and volleyed up and over the crossbar. I think that was Scheiber. It was. Good attempt by Canterbury, but can't get it to go.
Substitution for Homestead, number 4, Samuel Tyndall.
Samuel Tyndall in the game for Homestead. Free kick out. Rolls all the way down and went off a Canterbury player. Out to touch to Homestead. 10.5 to play in the first half. Couldn't control by Homestead. Throw in for Canterbury. Look for Watts. Couldn't make it through. Scheiber. That was number 5. Ben Kuntz. As we have a foul against Canterbury, free kick to the Spartans. Good head by Renninger. As if that got over the head of him, that would have fell down to Adam Swiatowski. It would have been one-on-one with the keeper. Bounces in off the head of Moyle. Kuntz, left-footed clearance. Pop back into danger by Cole. Headed back in by Slovin. Slovin again. Moyle right back at him as they play a 2-man game for a second. Good head and attempt by number 14. That's Ian Corbett. The right back roll. Logan Lee goes out to touch to Canterbury. Corbett looked for West. That fell through the legs. And it's got to be poked out, and that will be a throw-in for Canterbury. West is right there with Klein. West, the freshman, ricochets off a couple Spartans, and that time does ricochet out for a corner kick. 8:53 to play
Canterbury corner
in the
kick.
first half. Another corner for Canterbury as Swinty tried to backheel it. Once again, Canterbury just looking to try to make the spectacular play and not the simple play. Ball comes in, off Klein, then off Lee. And Lee so quick. Lee still trying to track it down as he causes that turnover by Kuntz. Watts just couldn't stop that. Kuntz tried to head it, comes down. And dispossessed by Canterbury. Right back to Homestead, which kicks it right back to Max Moyle in the back line of Coach Mott. Kuntz looking for Scheiber. Scheiber battling, advantage played, and now they will give the penalty. Penalties on number 15, Alex Shepard, the senior. As Scheiber put the pressure on to cause that foul. As Akil Watts will take the free kick. West now will replace Watts as Watts hustles into the box. West with the right foot went low, ricocheted off a Homestead player, came out to a Spartan and flicked out of danger. Kuntz goes by a Spartan player. Here's West, the freshman. Good shield, and that will be called against West. I like the defensive positioning out there by number 15, Alex Shepard, captain. Headed up. And we're going to continue to play aerial ball as that's going to finally settle down to a Spartan. Johnston. Look for a streaking Swiatkowski. Out to Watts. Watts shielding his defender. Coaching staff wanted a foul on the far sideline for Canterbury. Didn't get it called. Oh, they did get it. I apologize. Free kick for Canterbury. 6:15 to play here in the first half. 1-0 your score. Homestead on top. Off the foot of John Steiner. Just an outstanding goal. About 10 yards outside the box. Just ripped it in the back left corner. Beat the freshman Clayton Perry, and that's our only goal here in the first half of this match. We've played about 35 minutes of it. Moyle too heavy on that touch, taken away by Homestead, but there's Renninger, his backmate, to help him out. Lee leaves it to West. West trying to find Watts. Watts spins, cuts it. He can shoot it from here, leaves it for Lee. Lee's gonna fake the shot, go to the left foot, flicks it. Watts heads it to Schreiber, and Schreiber can't get it in. Not sure how that wasn't offside, but good attempt by the Cavaliers. But once again, Riley Cruel up to the task.
Substitutions for Homestead. Number 17, Chris Gogos. Number 18,
Chris Gogos
Samuel
back
Music,
in.
and number 22, Connor Williams. Entering the game for Canterbury, number 24, Graham Kaufman.
Only substitution for Canterbury. Kaufman back on the pitch, as Canterbury needs to get a goal here for a little momentum's sake. 4.5 to play in the first half. Renninger trying to track it down as Gogos is streaking out back to Clayton Perry. Boots it out to West. Comes down to Kuntz. Swinty. Watts. Nice turn. Look for Schreiber, and that's cleared out by Homestead. 4 minutes to play. Schreiber with the ball, look for the cross, has Kaufman in the box along with Lee, and he couldn't match up. As Schreiber tries to track it down, he does. Back to Kuntz. Kuntz looks for help, finds it in West. West has Kaufman near sideline, and Corbett. Corbett will take it. Good stop dribble out to the midfield, and Swinty. Swinty looked for Watts, couldn't get it to him, as Renninger and Moyle tag team on Gogos to stop that pressure. And that must have went over the end line.
Entering the game for Homestead, number 3, Jonathan Haller.
We have a throw in for Homestead. 3:15 to play in the first half, and we have an offside or handball, not sure. Can't see what the call was over there, but the assistant referee made the call. Free kick for Homestead. Just under 3 to play. Comes into the box. That's a dangerous ball right at Perry. Perry's there looking for the quick outlet to Corbett. Corbett has space. Goes to Swinty. Swings it back to Kaufman. Kaufman. Schreiber. Lee has West. If he can leave it, does. West with the left foot needs to boot it, does, but right at Cruel. So had the perfect opportunity, but couldn't get enough on the shot. Could the freshman. Corbett pops it back in the offensive end for Canterbury. Nice piece of dribbling. And does find Holler, who leaves it. Gogos. Gogos tried to flick it in the box. There's Swinty. Slide tackle, gets a piece of it. Here's Kaufman to retain. Turns it and clears it out to Lee. Lee is so crafty with his body and shielding it. Tried to make it around the dribble of John Steiner. Logan Lee putting the pressure on with 1:40 to play in the first half. Down 1-0 is Canterbury. Logan Lee to throw into West. West, Lee, Kaufman will take it. Has Corbett. West. Kaufman. That's a handball in the box right in front of the referee, not called. Throw in to Canterbury. I know LaCrousher wanted that handball there at the top of the box. Referee must have thought it was incidental as Watts makes the turn on his defenders. He's been doing it this past 5 minutes. Good cross comes in. Logan Lee tried to get ahead on it. Comes out to Corbett. 1 minute to play in the first half. Headed out beautifully by Alex Shepard, and that springs the Spartan. Long ball, looking for Gogos, and cleared out by Moyle. 44 seconds. Throw in for Homestead. Looking to add one more on the board to go into half.
16, Noah Jepson.
Jepson on the pitch for Homestead. Comes in and Moyle mishit it, but West is there. It's enough of the head on it, but Coffin swings and misses, but gets it out of danger. And that's kicked right out of play with 10 seconds
10,
to play.
9,
Keel Watts
7,
look to get it to
6,
Lee,
5,
and that's kicked out of play
4,
again
3,
as we have
2,
under 1 second.
1.
And that's how we'll go into halftime with the Homestead Spartans upsetting on top right now of the 8th ranked Indiana State team and Canterbury Cavaliers. We'll take a small break. I am Tim Atkinson with Jeff Mahoney. SummitCitySports.com will join you for the second half. Welcome back to the pitch, ladies and gentlemen, here at Homestead High School, home of the Spartans, playing host to the Canterbury Cavaliers, both Class 2A in the state of Indiana. 1-0 is your score. Homestead getting the first goal, obviously in the first half, on the foot of John Steiner. He is number 8, the junior, as the ball was ricocheted and placed out past Knights beautifully to him. About 10 yards outside the box. Let her rip. Past the diving goalkeeper and Clayton Perry for the only goal here in the match this evening. So Canterbury will start on defense here in the second half, as that goal in the first half did come around the 16:30 mark. Comes back to Cavaliers. Kaufman. Vandenacker. Lee, too heavy on the touch. I mentioned the rankings by Max Preps early in the first half. Get you updated on the Indiana Soccer Coaches Association poll, voted by the coaches. Local teams, these two right here in the 2A. Canterbury ranked number 4, and Homestead just in the top 20, ranked number 19 in the state of Indiana. Watts at the edge of the box, has Kaufman. Kaufman with the right-footed cross just over the head of Klein. Klein tracks it down, a walk-over dribble, try to cut it back towards the end line, and knocked out the touch to the Spartans. Quick throw in by Homestead, but right at the foot of Haynes. Out the touch to Cruz Garcia in the Cavs. Throw in, looks for Lee. Lee got it stuck underneath the feet. Garcia threw it into the top of the box. Comes out and cleared out by number 22 in white. That's Connor Williams getting the start here in the second half. Connor Williams is just a sophomore, but Sloven almost got it through the streaking Go-Go's as they try again. Nice cleared out by Renninger as Clayton Perry was not getting to that ball before the offensive player in the box. Haynes looked to cut it out, did. That's Klein. Tried to find Lee, went off Lee's shoulder. And that's offsides by Holler. He was a good 3 steps offsides. Free kick for Canterbury. Ball stays on the ground. Cruz Garcia. Right-footed cross looking for Getz. Had Kaufman here on the near side alone. Couldn't get it to him. Watts pressured, and that will cause a foul. Free kick. 37 to play in the match. Free kick for Canterbury. Dangerous spot on the pitch for the Spartans as they set up the wall. As Watts will go with the right foot, flicks it in, look for Getz, but that's right at the keeper, Cruel. Right-footed boot by Cruel, out way over midfield, down by Moyle to Kaufman. Vandenacker off the hand of a Homestead player, number 15, Shepard. That's the second one not called in favor of Canterbury's. That's settled by Klein. Klein has Lee, Garcia behind him. Goes back out to Klein. Getz is there. Getz tried to leave it for Cruz Garcia, couldn't get it to him. Out to Gogos. Gogos leaves it for Holler as they do give and go on the far sideline as Moyle, Max Moyle, tracks it down. Tried to find Garcia, dummy, but Moyle was there, has seen that a time or two in his 4 years at Canterbury High School. 35-40 to play here in the match. Homestead up 1-0 over Canterbury. Number 19 in the state. Right now on top, 1 goal over the 4th-ranked team. Renninger. Pass it into no man's land. Slovin. Nice move on Getz. Getz recovered. Well, that's a dangerous ball. Renninger was there. Just couldn't control it. Could Chris Gogos at the top of the box. Cruz Garcia trying to get to it and cannot. Throw in to Homestead. Moyle clears it. Out to touch to Homestead. As I mentioned, first and only goal came around the 16.5 mark in the first half. Is this a dangerous ball? Left. Good team closeout defensively because that was number 7, Johnston. Had space but was closed down quickly as that ball came back out to Connor Williams, the sophomore. Started the second half for Coach Hauser. And he put it over the crossbar for a goal kick to Clayton Perry. It's Perry. Right-footed free kick. It's a goal kick. Out. Haynes. Settled by Holler and White. Leaves it. Swiatowski. What a sliding tackle by Vandenacker, but that will be pushed out of play for a throw-in. Dummied by Johnston. Headed by Kaufman. Right back into danger at the mid-pitch. But Max Moyle, the senior, was there. Lee and Klein trying to track it down, but cleared out by Homestead. 33-40 to play in the match. Canterbury as it's dispossessed by Homestead and Holler. Cruz Garcia went right back and retrieved the ball back from him, but miscommunication with this front line. But that will still be a throw-in for Canterbury as they put the pressure on. Getz. He's going to leave it to Lee. Lee back to Getz. Lee. Nice ball to Vandenacker. Has Kaufman. That's another handball on Homestead, and that one is called So that handball there is called at 32:53 to play in the match.
Let's go, Kim!
Let's see who will take it. That will be Watson Vandenacker. Five in the box with Cruz Garcia, the 6th, far corner, and that's going to go far post and rolls out with no one on the touch. .32:15 to play, 1-0 still your score.
Substitutions entering the game for Homestead, number 18, Samuel
Homestead, and number 8, John Steiner, the
Canterbury,
junior.
Number 12,
So far with the only
Ethan
goal
Swinty, and number
here in the
18,
match.
Brandon West.
As we're about 3/4 through this match. Here's Lee, right-footed cross. Just can't get it to the head of Klein as Riley Krull is there. Krull, the big boot, skyballed, Moyle, and he's pushed by number 17, Gogos. Free kick for Canterbury. Quick restart, Renninger looks for Kaufman and headed out nicely by number 15, Alex Shepard, just to slow up the pace on the Cavalier attack. Look for throw into Watts, headed right out to touch. Kaufman has Lee. They'll shoot it from there, right-footed shot, Bender, but they're gonna get a foul. And we have a yellow card. Yellow card on number 6, Swiatkowski, on the dangerous play as Logan Lee took the shot 12 yards outside the box with the right foot, tried the bender, but got his legs undercut from underneath him. Free kick for Canterbury and a yellow on the Spartans.
Hauser came in for Homestead.
Let's go, Kim!
Let's see who will take it. Braden West on the ball for the free kick.
Let's go, Kim!
Akil Watts trying to mess with the wall there in front of West. 3 Cavalier players spread throughout the top of the box. West is going to take the shot with the right foot, and nice save. What a free kick by the freshman.
Corner kick, Canterbury.
Corner on the parry by the kicker, Krull.
Let's go, Kim!
Watts will head to the flag for the corner. Watts with the right-footed corner, in swinger. Off the head of Klein, couldn't flick it in. Lee tracks it down, tries to cross it in, blocked by Johnston. Heady dribbling by Lee, taken away by Homestead. But there is Swinty. Looking for the cross, he cuts it. Lee, nice dummy ball. Throws it into the box and couldn't match up with the 3 Cavaliers that were standing there at the penalty mark. As Krull pops it back out, just under 30 to play. Moyle. Lee tried to get it to Klein, couldn't, was defended, and that's going to be a foul. West looked for the quick restart to Klein. And that is going to be a goal kick for Homestead. Just under 30 to play. 1-0 your score. Homestead on top. On the foot of John Steiner. 16.5-minute mark of the first half. The only goal on the board. We are at Homestead High School. I'm Tim Atkinson, Jeff Mahoney on the camera. SummitCitySports.com. Brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Cruz Garcia lets it flicker out of bounds. And that's going to be a push in the back against Homestead. Another free kick for Canterbury. Ball comes into the box, has Lee, and off the head of Lee, just wide left of the post. Goal kick. Big early season match for both these squads, as overall both coaches just want to make as far of a state run as possible in the Class 2A. Rolls out the touch to Cruz Garcia. Throw in, Klein had it. Watts trying to track it down. Nice keep away by Homestead, out the touch of the Spartans. Quick throw in. And Cruz Garcia runs through the offensive player, can't get it, and that's number 18 on the dangerous play. Got the foot in there, didn't get any of the ball. That was number 18, Samuel Muslik, the sophomore, giving up the free kick, and another dangerous spot. Let's see who'll take it. Quick one by West. As they'll do a restart. They started just a bit quick of the whistle. 27-23 to play in the match. Canterbury trying to avoid their only loss of the season so far as they sit 3-0-1 as that ball got played in the box. Cruel, the keeper, mishandled, but eventually grabbed. Kick out over the midfield, and that was, Lee was offside, but never touched the ball. Vandenacker. As that first ball, Logan Lee was offsides, but was delayed, got himself back on sides. The flag should have went down. Not sure why the assistant referee kept the flag up on that reset, but either way, we have a free kick on the offsides, 26.5 to play in the match. Homestead up 1-0 over the fourth-ranked Canterbury Cavaliers. Cruz Garcia, Klein. Nice defense by number 12 in white, Matt Schuick. 26 to play, throw into West. There's a freshman. West smartly comes near side to Vandenacker. Vandenacker has Kaufman, putting the pressure on is Vandenacker. Attacking the defense, takes it to the corner of the box. Logan Lee, shifty, right foot. Nothing to that one, no trouble at all for the keeper. All shots by Canterbury in the second half. Just in constant attack mode. It's about the fifth foul given to Canterbury against Homestead. Quick restart once again by Moyle. Moyle gonna switch fields, a Renninger. Cruz Garcia has Swinty, finds him, lays it. Watts battling, turns so effortlessly on his defender. Through ball to Klein. Klein does get a foot on it. Can he cross it in? And parried out by Cruel. Not out of danger yet. Headed and goal! Headed by Graham Kaufman. Outside right at the penalty mark. As they could not keep it in, out of the box, could not clear it. And at 25 minutes, Graham Kaufman notches it up. 1-1 your score on the header. 25 minutes to play in this match. Huge play as that all started by the offense's continual attack on Homestead. Ricochet found the head of Graham Kaufman, the senior, who put it in the back of the net. No chance for the senior keeper, Cruel, to get it. We're all tied up at ones. Another fitting game as the Canterbury student section feeling the juice here on the right side. As we have a substitution on the field. Muha
Let's go, Cam!
had an almost goal in the first half. Kaufman tried to track it down, thrown it into danger, headed up by Renninger and poked up by Moyle. That was West out to lead, but settled by Homestead. It's a freshman. It's a good battle as Kaufman takes it. That's Connor Williams, the sophomore. The senior Kaufman should have plenty of strength as he showed on not giving the ball up. Vandenacker with the free kick. Vandenacker looking, finds Swinty. He's got tons of space in the middle of the pitch. Closed down by Tyndall. Moyle, nice ball back to Swinty. Moyle needs to rotate back into D, he does. Here's Vandenacker, has Kaufman, the goal scorer for Canterbury. Kaufman looked to cut it to West, couldn't get it to him. Kaufman tried to track it down, and it's gonna knock it, nope, as the advantage was played. Homestead with the chances. Renninger steps in front, and he's going to clear it out to touch to Homestead. 1-1 your score, 22:55 to play in the match. As that's Swinty, body to body, and that's going to be called. As number 4, Tyndall, went down hard. As Swinty, shoulder to shoulder, will give up the free kick in a dangerous spot to Homestead. Let's see who will take it. That's number 8, John Steiner, the goal scorer for the Spartans. Plenty of movement in the box for Homestead. 6 in action with 22, Connor Williams at the edge, about 10 yards deep out of the box. Yeah, good movement. Here comes the ball. Ball's in, headed by Moyle. That was flicked by Vandenacker and cleared by West. Lee over the head. Here's Watts. They have space. They have West streaking down the center of the pitch. Can Watts cut it? He can't. That was a nice defensive play by number 12, Daniel Matsua. That was dangerous for Homestead, as you had the 2 outstanding sophomore Akil Watts and Logan Lee streaking together with the freshman Braden West down the center of the pitch. Watts just couldn't cross it, as that's going to be a throw-in to Canterbury. 21-25 to play in the match. Swinty down in the corner to Watts. Watts back to Logan Lee. Lee has gone a couple right-footed shots from that angle. Chooses wisely to switch the field, and they'll get out to Cruz Garcia. Garcia to Klein, and that's going to roll out the touch to Homestead. So can't match up on the pass. Battle for the ball at midfield. And that's off the hand of Moyle, and that one is called. Free kick for Homestead. Who will take it? 1-1 your score. 20:30 to play here in the match. Puts it in the box, but no one there, too far. Rolls out harmlessly for a goal kick. 20:12 to play. 1-1 your score.
Number 5, Ben Kuntz.
As I mentioned, Canterbury is 3-0-1 on this early season. Started the season with a win.
Number 20, Josh
hosting
Holbrook.
Lures. SummitCitySports.com did bring you that action. Then they traveled to North Central, won that 5-2. Hosted Carroll. That's a game I mentioned in the first half. The 5-5 tie. It's Carroll and Noah Fleming scored with 18 seconds to play in that match. They knotted at 5s. And then coming off their last match against Snyder, duel in Fort Wayne, as they won 2-0 to push them to 3-0-1 on this early season.
Substitution for Homestead, number 17, Chris Gogos.
Next up, after this Homestead
Let's go,
battle,
Cam!
they will go back home to Canterbury High School on Thursday and host Concordia, the Concordia Cadets. That's Thursday at Canterbury High School, 6:30 p.m. Here's a pressure by Homestead. Good cross, and Holler left his feet when if he could have stayed on his feet, that ball may have just rolled right into an ankle and could have deflected in, but got in the air somehow as that rolled harmlessly across the box. Just under 19 to play, 1-1 your score. Tyndall. Good ball to Hauser. Tried to go back to Holler. Cruz Garcia there. That's the hustle by Garcia. Ever present on the pitch for the Cavs. Renninger knocks it out as they were looking for Holbrook. Throw in for Homestead. Holbrook being double teamed. Not sure what the call is. We're going to have a throw in. Homestead. 18 minutes to play. Pressure being displayed by Homestead as that went off the foot of number 20, Josh Holbrook, the sophomore, out over the end line for a goal kick. For the Homestead Spartans, as I mentioned, they come in 0-1-1. Open up the season with a 2-1 loss, hosting Leo High School. Then travel to Avon High School where they put up a 1-1 tie. Came back home tonight to host these Canterbury Cavaliers. And then they will travel Thursday as they will head to Carroll High School. So 17-15 to play. Moyle. Good foul. That's obvious shirt pull against Holbrook as Max Moyle was begging for the call. Got it. Now we have a free kick. Moyle's going to go deep to a streaking West. West can't get ahead on it. No, small collusion. Small collision. Just good hustle there by Braden West. No harm there. Free kick for the keeper, Cruel. Other local high schools in the top 20 in 2A. Fort Wayne Carroll boys ranked number 10 in the state of Indiana, along with these Canterbury Cavaliers at 4 and the Homestead Spartans at 19. Northrop, an honorable mention, just outside that 20 here in boys soccer. So good battle at the midfield by the freshman Holbrook. He maintains control and filters back to Tyndall, but that's taken away by Klein. Here's come Klein. He has Watts, finds Watts. Watts has Schreiber if he could gain control, couldn't. Goes back out to West. West, unadvised look as he had Swinty over his left shoulder. If he had just popped his head up, would have saw him streaking. Either way, throw in for Homestead. Just under 16 to play, 1-1 your score. In the 1A men's soccer, boys soccer in the state of Indiana, the coaches poll. Local high schools making the top 20. Bishop Luers ranked number 14 in the state of Indiana. As that's headed out to Logan Lee. Lee looked for Watts, couldn't find him. And booted nicely, but he's offside, is Holbrook. 15 to play here in the match. Battle of these 2A schools. Renninger tried Watts. Holler up for the task as he cut off the pass. Slovin. Unadvised ball. Throw in to Canterbury. Quick look at the girls varsity coaches poll for the 2A local schools. Fort Wayne Carroll, led by Amber Hoot, the sensational senior, as they got some freshmen and sophomores and juniors as well. We had them last week with The only score coming by a freshman, Geiger. Here's Watts. Watts has space. Can he flick it with the right foot? He does! Akil Watts didn't give up on the play. Took on 2 Homestead Spartans. Found the left corner. Just on the outstretched foot of Cruel, the keeper. That is a goal for Akil Watts. Outstanding player is Akil Watts. That's his 6th goal on the season through this being the 5th match. A huge goal to put him up 2-1. Canterbury.
In the game for Canterbury, number 24.
Just a bit of skill and never say die attitude by Akil Watts. Kept taking and pressuring the ball. Found the opening space on the left side of the box and just tucked it in between the keeper and the left post. Beautiful play by Akil Watts and the Canterbury Cavaliers. That State of Indiana 4th ranked team on display. You saw the skill. They have it up and down the pitch as well. But Homestead not out of this. 13:44 to play. Watts tries to head it to Lee. Lee with that speed just puts continuous pressure. Lee takes it away. Tried to go through the legs of the Homestead player, but forces the turnover. Quick throw in. Here's Swinty. Swinty has Kuntz. Kuntz has Scheiber. Finds him. Scheiber. Good idea. Couldn't match up and reach it to him. Foul on Canterbury. As that wasn't a foul, that was just a throw in. Moyle tried to head it back into the offensive zone as West tracked it down. Swinty off the toe. Sweeps it back to Moyle. Moyle looked to go up near to Watts. Couldn't reach him. Headed by Swinty. Falls down to Scheiber. Can't control. Knocked out the touch by number 15, Shepard. Kuntz. Braden West. Once again cleared out by Mason Cole. Canterbury, 12.5 to play in this match, up 2-1. 2 unanswered goals for the Cavaliers and Coach Mock. Here's Lee. This Coach Mock's got to be a lot more happy with the intensity and the drive here in the second half for his squad. As Holler put it right back in danger and headed out by Cole. Corbett puts it back in danger in the box. Nice clear out by Homestead. Renninger can't find a teammate, picked up by Homestead. West looking to track down defensively and does. That's the freshman showing the hustle. Good look. I'm sure he was looking for Scheiber, but by way of that had a stroke in Logan Lee. As the Cavalier faithful student section over here cheering out, he's a freshman, talking about Braden West. Very good player. We saw a highlight goal in the first match against Lures on a corner kick as he flicked it in with the back heel off the left foot. As you can check that on YouTube. Watts, he loves that turn move, but that comes right back to him. Look for the shot, right-footed shot, wide left, and that is deflected out for a corner. 11 to play. In the match, corner for Canterbury.
Let's go, Cavs!
Corner kick, Canterbury.
Homestead cannot afford to give up another goal, obviously, with just under 11 minutes to play. Sun setting here. Beautiful campus of Homestead High School. The football stadium in the distance. It looks like the flag team's out there as Watts goes deep. And I'm not sure if that was planned, but it comes out to Corbett. Corbett looks to cross it in with the right, ricochets off a Spartan and Slovin. Out to touch to Canterbury. Throw in. Kaufman looked to cross it in. Another throw in. Kaufman looks to throw in to find Watts. Does, and that's kicked out for a corner. Another corner for Canterbury.
Canterbury corner kick.
10 minutes to play in the match, up 2-1.
Substitutions entering the game for Homestead. Number 6, Adam Switkowski. And number 18, Samel Musley.
Watts to take the corner.
For Canterbury, number 13.
And he's going to put it in the box. Schreiber looked to volley it in, but that's kicked out over the end line for a goal kick. It's number 6, Switkowski to kick. Headed up by Moyle. Kuntz trying to track it down, being pressured by. Oop, that looked like that went off a hand of Moyle. No caller. Switkowski has Johnson with him. Looks for the sophomore. And Williams can't get it to him. Left. Kaufman for Lee. Good defense played. As Kaufman just walked right through the defensive slide tackle as he takes the push to the back, but regains his strength and causes the free kick. Quick restart, and this could be dangerous as Renninger just needs to clear it out. He does. He doesn't, I apologize. That went straight up in the air, but that will roll harmlessly back to the freshman keeper and Clayton Perry. 8.5 to play in this match. Canterbury up 2-1. Homestead's only goal coming at the 16.5-minute mark in the first half. Canterbury has put 2 unanswered goals up in this second half from the head of Graham Kaufman, the tire, and then fouled that up by Akil Watts, a sophomore, to put him up 2-1. 8 minutes to play.
Entering the game for Canterbury, number 11, Jameson Klein.
Jameson Klein back in for Canterbury. Schreiber takes a seat. 7:50 to play. Lee. I believe that's Klein. Klein with the speed, looking for the cross, and that's knocked out for a corner. Another corner at 7.5 minutes to play. Becoming pretty repetitive here for the Homestead Spartan defense. Another corner. See if they can match up on one of these corners as Canterbury, just the odds alone, comes in off the head of Klein. Slide tackle by Logan Lee, but wonderful job by number 18 in white, Samuel Muslik. Then getting the foul called and a free kick. 7 minutes to play. 2-1 your score. Canterbury on top. 2 Class 2A schools. Canterbury coming in ranked number 4 in the state of Indiana. And Homestead ranked number 19th, as that's a foul called against Canterbury. This is going to be a free kick in dangerous area. So Homestead with the free kick. 6.5 to play, down by 1 goal. Homestead needs to at least put it on net. Try to get some momentum going. That will be number 7, Austin Johnston, the junior. Big wall for Canterbury. Kaufman in the center of that, as that's going to be put on goal, but over the crossbar, spun out over the end line for a goal kick. Clayton Perry, the freshman, giving up the 1 goal here today. That was in the first half. Line drive ball out. And that's possessed by Canterbury, but Moyle looked to just knock it in the offensive end with 5.5 to play. Goalkeeper Krull takes advantage and control.
Let's go, Cavs!
Running out of time is Homestead. Moyle heads it, looked for Watts, couldn't get to him. West, Swinty, 2-man game, nicely done, but the freshman West couldn't find Lee. Watts looked for Lee. Settles to Swinty's feet. Here's West, has Kaufman. Went through ball to Lee, but had Kaufman here on the near sideline. That's exactly what Logan Lee was pointing at. Boy, that was still a good look by Braden West. He really, in my opinion, could have went to either side. And that's going to be kicked out to touch by Homestead. Throw in by West into Kaufman. Lee. And that will stay possession to Canterbury. Kaufman to throw in. Into Lee. Lee, so sneaky. Cleared out by Homestead. Down by 1. 4.5 to play. Lee. One-on-one nutmegged, and that should be a foul, absolutely. That's a free kick. Logan Lee showing the craftiness and the skill on the ball. Just got lovely skill. 4 minutes to play.
Let's go, Cap!
West with the right foot. Watch him try to bend this into goal here as he kicked it a bit hard off the chest of Klein and too heavy out to, over the end line for a goal kick. 3:40 to play. Homestead running out of time, but I can guarantee you one thing this year, since the 5-5 tie at Carroll with them giving up the #1 5 goals at home and the tire with 18 seconds to play. One thing is Canterbury will not take any second for granted. West left it to Watts. Watts has space and just far left of the post. Goal kick. But Watts had some space. That would have been the decider.
Substitution for Homestead, number 20, Josh Holbrook.
Just under 3 minutes in this match. Off the head of Lee. Watts. Kaufman. Lee. Couldn't find Watts or West. Cleared out. Swinty. So calm and skilled on the ball are these Cavalier players. Such a treat to watch. And that's why Coach Mock gets so disappointed, as he knows the skill and a lot of the leadership and experience on this squad. One of the main reasons that the school chose to stay in the 2A this year. West left it to Watts nicely, who's going to go wide to Klein. There's 3 guys in the box. No defenders back for Homestead, but they can't get it into the box.
2 minutes.
2 to play. Here comes Homestead. And Clayton Perry's there, read that. Clayton Perry read that nicely.
Let's go, Cap!
No space given. Ball kicked out over the midfield. Back up towards the midfield. And headed out by Homestead. Vandenacker throws it into Kaufman. Kaufman with the nice dribbles, tries to shield it, does. Needs to take it down near the flag and just hold it the ball. Minute 14. Watch Canterbury to try to get it down into one of these corners and sit on this ball. Kaufman, nicely done, don't need to attack.
1 minute.
He chooses to.
1 minute.
And there's the cross, trying to track by Klein, and that's cleared out by Homestead.
Let's go, Cap!
Here's Watts, just under a minute to play. 2-1 your score. Canterbury on top. Scored 2 unanswered goals here in the second half. Homestead's goal only coming in the first half. But here they come with some pressure. Moyle tried to get the angle on Gogos as Gogos slips, and Moyle out to Kaufman and out to touch. Just under 30 seconds to play. Canterbury fans feeling it now. 22 seconds to play in the match. Throw in. And that's going to be out to touch. Kicked out by Josh Holbrook. Kaufman throws it down at the end as we have 10 seconds.
9,
What a game by Coach Mock as Akil Watts put the pressure on and then just floated out over the crossbar. But that will be the match. What an outstanding match it was for Jeff Mahoney on the camera. I am Tim Atkinson. This is SummitCitySports.com. We thank you for joining us. Have a good night. Coach Mock, once again, it seems like every time we're out here with you guys, it's a battle, and it comes down there to the end. Homestead got off with that early goal, but your kids never gave up. Total change of events from the last time we saw you guys. What did you see tonight in your players?
Well, we saw a lot of good things. We managed the game better in the second half. We did almost everything better in the second half. We were more aggressive going to goal. Defensively, our backs were cutting out a lot of those balls that were through instead of just being so passive, doing all the things that we want them to do. And it's nice to see them start to show the ability to come back from a deficit and then close and manage the game down the last stretch. That was good. All positive changes from last week.
And you talk about those positive changes. I'm sure early in the season that's pretty much what it is, taking that one or two things out of the game and moving on that next week and getting better to try to make this run to state. Is that kind of the mindset for you, Coach? Absolutely.
We take a picture of the game, figure out where we need to improve, start working on. We've got a list of things for tomorrow. But every day you want to see a little bit of progress. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we don't expect to be October fit and October caliber now, but we'd like to be headed that way, and I think tonight we were.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach, and good luck the rest of the season. I'm sure we'll see you in the next coming weeks.
Fun. Thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Hey, Coach, tough battle. Obviously not the outcome you wanted here tonight on the losing end, but players showed a lot of fight here tonight against a game Canterbury squad and a highly ranked one. But you guys are no slouch yourselves. Tell me what you guys took out of tonight's game and what you thought the difference was in just the one-goal deficit.
Well, we've got a lot to learn. The first half we played really well. We played intense. We did the marking that we were supposed to do. Second half we weren't as tight. We didn't protect the goal. We had some loose clearances that got taken advantage by a very tough team.
Now, can you talk a little bit about your keeper? It may have been a little different outcome if you didn't have him back there. He seems like his positioning was very well there in the back line. Can you tell me a little bit about what he means for your club on the defensive end, knowing that they have him there as the back line?
Yeah, Riley and our two center backs are solid. They work together as a unit to make sure everything's protected when it comes in. All three of them work together to make sure nothing dangerous gets inside the box.
Now, coming out of tonight's game, playing a good Canterbury squad, what are you taking out here? It's still early in the season. It's just your third match here. What are you taking out of this game to move in here the rest of the season for a run towards state?
Well, some fitness. We got to work on some fitness. We played really well in the first 40 minutes, started to lose it in that last 30 minutes of that second half. So as that happened, the intensity kind of shifted. The game shifted towards Canterbury, and we got to pick that up a little bit. And then defensively, we got to be tighter. We're too loose on when they're attacking. We're too loose on our defensive side.
Awesome, Coach. I appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way. I'm sure we'll run into you the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Standing here with senior Graham Kaufman. Found a little ball come out to your head and put it back in the net. Tell me about what you were thinking as that ball came out to the head. And did you see the wide open goal? It looked like you had quite a bit of space and a good angle there. Take me back through that play.
Well, I saw the goalie coming out, and I knew that if I didn't get to the ball, my coach would probably kill me for not getting to it. So I decided that that's the ball I needed to go to, and I got to it.
Now, we're still early in the season. Still, you guys are undefeated, 4-0-1 now. Just had that battle with Carroll on the tie. Since that match, have you guys learned a lot, even though it wasn't a loss, that you guys were up 4-1 at one time in that game? Tell me what you guys have taken from then to now to improve.
I just think that we can't become complacent with how we're playing. And we really just became comfortable with our position during that game, and we just can't back off at all. We just have to keep going 100% the entire game.
Awesome. Good luck, Graham. Great goal tonight, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Standing here with super sensational sophomore Akil Watts. Akil, you're all over the pitch, tracking back on defense, controlling the ball in the midfield. Take me back through your goal. It looked like you had a little bit of an angle. Next thing you know, it kind of opened up when you split the defenders, found the bottom left of the net. Take me back through that play.
Well, I didn't want the ball to get away from me, so I just kept powering through, and I ended up getting a goal from that. And I guess that was from my team kept pushing me to keep moving forward and keep trying to get the goal.
Now you talk about the rest of your team. Another one that you play off well with is Logan Lee. You guys been playing a lot of soccer together. Tell me about how you guys play off each other and how much you guys make each other better.
Well, we've been playing together since we were like 8, so we've been on the same club team. I guess that chemistry is just there, and that's what helped us combine and get the goals we need.
Awesome, and you were on this team obviously as a starter to make the run last year. Is this, in your opinion, a better team than last year, a more experienced team? What are your thoughts on this year and what you guys can do?
I mean, this team this year is pretty good, and last year's team was really good. But I'm guessing this team's gonna make it far. We're gonna make it far.
Awesome, congratulations, Akil, and we'll see you the rest of the season. Thank you.